Welcome to the Hungarian Grand Prix weekend for FIA Formula 3. We're here at Budapest for round 8 of the season. 8 of 14 in total, 8 of 10 for Formula 3. And we're almost set to go racing as well. The atmosphere is building. Let's cross over to Chris McCarthy and Alex Brundle as we get ready for the sprint race. We'll be back as soon as the systems are set up. Still having a few issues with the global TV outage, which means we've got to sign into all our equipment before we get going. Let's head over to the world feed.
Action alongside me, Alex Brundle. Alex, it was a really interesting qualifying session yesterday, a dramatic one to say the least. And with that, we're left with Dino Beganovic on pole position. Someone who's fell back in the championship order in recent rounds, but he's got a chance to move forward today.
Yeah, interesting qualifying session, characterised really by that incident for Browning, who lost his lap time as a result of the application of the new regulation we have this year in Formula 2 and Formula 3, where if you are the cause of a red flag, you may lose your fastest time in the qualifying session. The stewards have applied that. Luke Browning losing that time will start 15th for both races. Josh Dufek as well. Disqualified from qualifying as a result of being underweight. As such, Dino Beganovic finds himself qualifying 12th and therefore being on pole for this sprint race. The Prima driver will therefore go off the front row of the grid across from Nikita Bedrin. Tazinopol Intrapuvizak will be third after a very good day for AIX Racing. Let's have a look at the full starting grid though, shall we?
Dino Beganovic is only one of 2 in the top 7 of the championship in the top 12. He goes off pole position. Nikita Bedrin for AIX Racing finished on the podium here last year. He's looking to repeat that. He's on the front row. Tazinopol Intrapuvizak looking to score the first points for Thailand in FIA Formula 3. He's going to go off road 2 with Callum Voisin looking to get that podium, looking to add to it. He got from Silverstone. Then Christian Mansell. Tim Tramnitz has gone missing in this championship in recent rounds. Can he now add to the podiums he's already got in sprint races? Sami Megatunov with his Trident teammate will be on row number 4. Let's see how they can go. Noel Leon, he's looked very quick in recent rounds, was on the podium last time out. He's alongside Leo Fornaroli, one of the main contenders in this championship, 4th. He's got a chance to get some big points today. Nicholas Solov, we've seen him on the top step twice this season. He could be a big player. He'll go off the front row tomorrow with Lawrence Van Hoopen. Gabriele Mini just missed out on a top 12. He is our championship leader. He is 13th place alongside Ollie Goethe. Alongside them, then we have Luke Browning, who of course had that fastest lap deleted. Max Esterson is next. Then we have Loke Wirtz, Boyer and Zagazeta rounding out the top 20. Arvid Lindblad, the Silverstone double winner, 21st place. Martinius Stenshorn, 22nd. Kian Shields and Sophia Flörsch next. So Arvid Lindblad well out of position. Piotr Wisniewski comes next. Then Tommy Smith, Kasper Stuka, Alex Dunn, Sebastian Montoya and Josh Dufek. 3-place penalties for Wisniewski and Stuka. A 10-place penalty carried over for Dunn. The 3-place penalties for Wisniewski and Stuka were for impeding. The 10-place penalty for Alex Dunn was carried over from Silverstone for that incident in the feature race. Sebastian Montoya didn't really get a lap in qualifying, and then Josh Dufek was disqualified for qualifying for being underweight, which was a real shame for him because he did qualify P6. Okay.
Well, the cars head off on their formation lap, and we've signed into all our equipment. Still, the global tech outage requires us to sign in, and Formula 3 and Formula 2 software only becomes available when the world feed starts, so that's why we have to throw over to them while I sign in and be mad over here. That's why Omi has only just joined us. Hello, Omi. Welcome up to the box. Here we go then. Round 8 of 10, the sprint race, and after a dramatic qualifying, the grid mixed up. Beganovic sort of getting a free pass after a poor day qualifying, with Browning getting his fast lap taken away. I feel sorry for Tazinopol Intrapuvizak, who should have been on pole position for this one. He's having a storming weekend.
Yeah, Dufek disqualified as well, and he was meant to start 6th. He's a driver who hasn't scored points all season. He had a chance of doing that, but he's starting at the back. Let's hear from Tazinopol Intrapuvizak.
Doing all these races to be where we're at right now, and we're continuing to improve. So yeah, I'm super happy with today's result. Definitely shows improvement overall, and yeah, to be able to be in a position to fight for good points tomorrow or even podium, yeah, I'm super happy with.
Here's Nikita Bedrin.
I mean, it's a very good step up from the team. the whole team was actually very quick in qualifying, so I think it's a very good opportunity for us to also prove something in the race, and hopefully we can keep this working attitude and keep proving ourselves.
Dino Beganovic, we will not hear from. Okay.
No.
I thought we would. That's a surprise to me. Many people say.
Well-
Go on.
Yeah, to be fair though, it was decided at 1 a.m. local time. I don't know if they've had
That's
time
true, yeah.
to interview him after that. They were starting on pole.
By the way, after yesterday's calamity with the heat, I have chosen my thinnest clothes possible. So I'm wearing a very thin checker flag shirt and very thin checker flag shorts that are swimming trunks. So I've chosen the thinnest clothes possible for today because of how hot it was. How did you survive, Omi, as well? Because I know your room does get very, very hot where you commentate from.
Yes, it does get very hot, so I have to survive with a fan. It does seem a bit cooler this morning,
Yeah.
luckily. But let's hope it remains that way throughout the day as well. But yeah, disappointment for him to prove Zach, who's going to have to go for third. He'll be hoping to get the jump. Beganovic has won this season earlier on. The Future Race Australia, he's got drivers who haven't won all season behind him as well. To sign up to prove Zach, trying to get his first points. First of all, would be the first driver from Thailand to do so in FIA Formula 3. Leonardo Fornarelli starts in 10th position. Big opportunity for him to score some points when his two title rivals ahead, Mini and Lindblad, are not starting near the front. Mini's only a few places behind though, but it's Lindblad who is massively back as we're all getting into position for what should be a really exciting contest of Formula 3.
19 laps ahead of us. There's Rebecca to press the button and start the lights. Remember, she manually dictates how long those 5 red lights stay on for. There's a pause between 3 and 7 seconds. Anything after that 5th light, the time will go out. Now, in previous, it's been 3.5 seconds. She's waited. She counts 1, 2, 3.5, go. And this is going to be an aborted start because stuck on the grid is Joseph Loke, who is now having to reverse, and it is an aborted start. He is sideways in his grid box, and an extra formation lap has been achieved. It'll be an 18-lap race now instead. And how on earth did Joseph Loke do that? It looked like he turned too late.
Must have turned too late, positioned the car like it was a completely different grid spot there as well. So it means that we do have an aborted start, an extra formation lap for that. Hopefully we'll be able to get a replay of Joseph Loke doing that into his pit box. So we'll go around again, but it's a Formula 3 race which should be full of safety cars anyway, so wouldn't probably matter too much. But let's see, what is Joseph Loke going to do?
Oh, so he's gone
is
to the
he
wrong
going
side.
to reposition? Yeah, he's gone to the wrong one, then he's going to have to reposition.
Well, that was, he's forgot what side of the grid he's on. Now, I don't mean to be insulting, but if he can't tell left from right, maybe he shouldn't be a racing driver. I mean, how do you forget? That Giancarlo Fisichella did that once. No, he did that twice, actually. Fisichella did that twice in Sepang, once in 2001 and then 2 years later in 2003. Once in a Benetton, once in a Jordan. He pulled up on the wrong side of the grid, tried to get across. Now, in 2001, he stalled the car and had to abort the start. 2003, he managed to just get into position, and we started the race. But yeah, it's not very often you see that. Fisichella got a bit of a... Well, I don't want to say that on air, but let's just say they never let him forget. And Maxim says, who do you support in Formula 3? Well, it's a talent pool. There's always a lows to look out for as well. Particularly, I like always Luke Browning and I personally, Sebastian Montoya is always something I look out for because I watched his father race and always enjoyed Montoya and his antics as well coming in from IndyCar. What about you, Omi?
I just like everyone, really.
Yeah.
I just want everyone to do well in Formula 3. That's the thing about it. In Formula 2, of course, I support Alex Cheeks. That's what I do.
Yes.
But no, on the grid, I don't really support anyone in Formula 3 and Formula 2. Just want everyone to do well as well. And then you also support Sophia Flörsch a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was looking
Yeah.
down the order, and maybe I should say Sophia Flörsch as well, just because, got to support the females in motorsport as well, because this is a hard game to get into, and Sophia did it even without the F1 Academy being in her time as well. Speaking of that, you've got some new logos around the commentary box as well. Lizzie Whitmore's sticker, currently on the back of the JBMotorsports flag, because we wanted it on the top of my headset, it wouldn't fit, but I've got Mallory's sticker on the side of my headset as well, Mallory Dobbs. The two Secmet racing teams run by our colleague and friend Maddie Patterson, who this time a week ago we were into warm-up. It's scary it was a week ago. Never knew that.
Back to work for you now.
Yeah, back to work. I'll try and get another 4 days off sometime. Next up for me, though, travelling is Scotland, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Just got to plan that in the next few days. If we can get and do Knock Hill. So, teeth gritted. We'll all be ready to go now. 18 laps and 40 minutes ahead of us. The one thing that's worrying me is, are we going to get this in time? All eyes on then. 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3.5, go! Good start from Bogdanovic, good start from Into Pruvazak. Actually, he's going to make battle with his teammate. They almost came together. Bedrin lines up right behind Bogdanovic. Into Pruvazak's going to go right round the outside, looking further back. Mansell side by side as well with Vozin into turn 1. Into Pruvazak goes a bit wide. Bedrin tries the undercut. Bogdanovic still leads further back as well. Murray Boyer making a couple of moves up. But look at this, they come in towards turn 3. We've lost TV pictures as well. From our commentary position, we can't tell what's happened, and it's not our fault. FOM has crashed. The FOM systems have crashed. There we go. And into the lead of the race goes Nikita Bedrin. We didn't see it happen because FOM systems crashed at the start, but into the lead of the race goes Nikita Bedrin. Down to second is Dino Bogdanovic. I hope we get a replay at the start because we didn't see what was happening. They're all cleanly through turn 4. Boyer goes a bit off, but Bedrin is the new race leader. And still, the global technological issues affecting trackside cameras here in FOM.
Indeed, great stuff though from Bedrin as we see Luke Browning also fighting his way through in the mid-pack right now at the moment. He was side by side with Ollie Goethe. Oh, man, we've had a bit of contact there.
That is going to be Murray Boyer, who has hit the back of the 19 as well, and that is it's rear tire gone basically as well. Just trying to see that's Zagazita, who's got no rear suspension. Now he's going to hopefully get it back to the pitch. You can get these Formula 3 cars back on 3 wheels. And yellow flag's out, so maybe he hasn't, so we'll keep an eye out in Sector 2. Bedrin leads Bogdanovic into Pruvazak, Vozin, Mansell, Traminitz, Megatunic, Faller early, Van Hopen, Ramos, the top 10. I think, though, we might have to have a safety car. This is the kid situation. And Kasper Sutra has dropped down to 30th position as well as we come across the line. Sutra's into the pit lane. He's got damage too. As we go down towards turn 1, Mansell tries to go around the outside, then in towards the first corner as well. Traminatz can't get to her either. Mansell stays ahead. Traminatz does the undercut, tries to get back up. Mansell forces him off towards the exit of the pit wall. No sign of that safety car. Traminatz goes round the outside, downhill into turn 3, and that's going to be a brave move to keep it through into 4. Can he do it on the inside line? Yes, he can. Great move.
Great move indeed from Tim Traminitz. The Red Bull Junior is moving up to 5th position as well. Bogdanovic continues to put the pressure after losing the lead with Bedrin turning the outside to the inside. We believe we'll take a look at a replay hopefully soon off. That one, virtual safety car is out, so the racing will be neutralized here on this opening tour, but they're all so close together.
Has to be the virtual safety car then. Kasper Sutra's left the pit lane. He was in there for around about 37 seconds. And Zagazita is officially out of the race. Well, we knew that as soon as we saw the rear suspension flying up as well, quicker than a kangaroo. Right, so let's take a look at the start again, as there is where Zagazita's ended up, exit turn 11.
Indeed, so unfortunate for Zagazeta scored his first points last time out, but we're going to take it back now to the race start. So first of all, initially Bogdanovic gets away well. It's into Pruvazak who gets away a little better than Estima, but of course Bedrin's getting that direct toe as well from Dino Bogdanovic, as at the same time Mansell went wheel to wheel and toe to toe with Callum Boysen down to that first corner. Bogdanovic holds the lead, lock up from Bedrin. Boysen has a fancy chance down the inside, always close in the mid-pack. We have Stenchon also making his way through all the way around the outside in the background, but it was down to turn number 2, and it was all the way around the outside, and he should be able to get the momentum if you've kept your foot in all the way there. And then into turn 3, the inside belongs to Bedrin, so Bedrin is able to take the lead, and this was the contact further back, and it's unfortunate for Matthias Zagazeta. They're making contact with Murray Boyer.
Yep, and we're back to green flag running in 10 seconds time, so we will be racing again. The replay signal, I've just noticed, has changed from Formula 3. So is Bogdanovic going to get the run on Bedrin? When we head back to green, it's going to be the run up the hill. Who saw the green flag first? Bedrin got it. But meantime, the two, look at that, Forlaroli going right round the outside of Sammy Megatunov. Contact from the back, car off. I can't see who it is, it's Ramos. Oh. Well, that's just ridiculous. That's the problem with restarting them in a zone where it's a blind uphill acceleration zone. So that's going to be another virtual safety car if there's a problem for, as you say, yeah, for Ramos, who did start in 10th position. So he's dropped down massively now in this field. On board with Forlaroli.
Yeah.
Still stuck behind Megatunov. Go on, Amy.
He is right now, but everyone was just so bunched together, which meant that we were always going to get something similar to that when everyone's delta allows them to be so bunched together, because that's how they were when we first got going. Ramos says he has a puncture, so he must have had contact basically immediately after that virtual safety car restart. Callum Moysen looking for the podium positions. Of course, the man who finished first in the feature race last time out. Let's watch Luke Browning then. And there we go, that's the contact. So it is going to be contact between Solov, and he is going to be into the side of Ramos, and both of them slowing down. Browning saying thank you very much, and Browning takes the place.
Now, Joseph Lowe, as we see Bedrin trying to come around the outside. No, not going to happen there. So Bedrin leads ahead of Bogdanovic, who defends that inside line coming out of one. So Joseph Lowe's under investigation for failing to come into the pit lane because if you cause an aborted start, you are mandated to come into the pit lane. That was introduced after Felipe Massa did so in 2013 and failed to come into the pit lane to start the race from there. Meantime, Bedrin is holding off Bogdanovic, and Bogdanovic is really wanting a position back, but Callum Vozin's coming in from nowhere, so is Natsenbol into Privazak, Solov and Ramos into the pit lane. I think this is Solov in his front wing, it is.
Yeah. And you do need to take this. You do need to take advantage if you are Dino Bogdanovic on this opportunity. You've got drivers around you that don't usually fight up here, and they've got they haven't got the best cars underneath them as well with the Rodinan AIX cars. So not the best cars underneath them either from earlier this season. The Prima car has still been decent. Maybe they're just not having a good weekend this time around, because all three drivers are massively off the pace, so a disappointment for Prema, but they're trying to turn it around. They've been given the opportunity with two drivers being disqualified and all sorts of penalties going on Friday, and now they've got a chance on Saturday. Bogdanovic has lost the lead, but he seems like the more racy driver right now up against Bedrin, and the driver with a lot more pace as well. Megatunov could be coming under a little bit of pressure from Lawrence Van Hoopen as well. Joseph Lowe has got the penalty.
Yep, saw that was coming. It's a 10-second stop-go penalty as well for failing to come into the pit lane when he caused the aborted start. Now, Bogdanovic is closing with the DRS on the run downhill towards turn 3. He looks to the inside line. Bedrin, who leads in the AIX, will just hold that line as they come out of 3, up the hill then towards turn number 4. It's a blind crest at the top. Throw the car in and make sure it's okay. Look at Callum Vosin trying to go right round the outside of into Privazak. That's not a position where you want to go side by side. We saw yesterday as well with Charles Leclerc exactly how, and even actually thinking about it, Zhou Guanyu, if you get it wrong on the exit curve, the cars just spin out from underneath you. Stewards are investigating after the race, Boya and Zagazita, for a turn 7 contact. Well, that's, in my opinion, it was a racing incident.
Yeah. Van Hoopen was able to make the move and get to on Sammy Megatunov earlier on in the lap. Luke Browning will be the next one to do so as he tries to recover his weekend. Of course, we'll start 15th now for both races. It's already started 15th today. We'll start 15th tomorrow as well. Well, Luke Browning. And he's also still got a good opportunity to still score some points, and he might even leave this weekend gaining points on Mini and Arvid Limler. That's the great thing about it for him as well. But Callum Boyden seems racing. Yeah, you don't really want to make the move at turn number 4 unless you want the dust on the outside line. He was always going to be forced to that part of the circuit. Bedrin's got a bit more of an advantage coming onto this straight, so he should be under less pressure from Dino Bogdanovic as they come over the line to begin lap number 6 of this one.
Now look at this as well. Forlaroli having to go. No, that's Megatunov, sorry. I'm going to go a bit defensive from Luke Browning, as you say. Browning up into 10th position. Megaturius dropped back into 9th position. Vosin sends it up the inside of Tanasipol into Bumazak. And how was there not a puncture for Tanasipol? That was nearly close. Vosin's nearly losing his front wing. He's trying so hard.
Oh my god, he's really risking it. It's Callum Woyden. He knows that he wants to go hunting for the top 2. He has got some confidence. After a podium in the sprint at Silverstone, finishing first on the road, even though it didn't fully count, he finished first on the road in the feature race at Silverstone. He's a driver with a lot of confidence, and he wants to use it right now. He wants to clear to Sanopol into Pruvizak and go and chase Beganovic and Bedrin.
He's got Chimenez and Mansell right behind. Mansell's the fastest start. Watch this again on the inside line. How did he not just... Look at that. That was a big one coming up, because that would have lost the front wing. And there was a touch as well, just the slightest kiss.
Yeah.
Front right wing as well, forcing to the rear left tyre of Tanasipol into Pruvizak.
Indeed. So getting very close between those two drivers as they look to continue battling and look to continue fighting in this one, as we continue then and make our way through the final corner of the circuit. Once again, Bedrin breaking the toe as well. It seems like the gap between the drivers has frozen for FRM on the graphics.
Yep. That's what I was thinking as well, but because they're stuck at across the line, still that global tech issue affecting systems up here in the comms box as well, as we said. So we're going to have to play this old school a little bit, just like in Austria in the F1 sprint race, as on the inside line, Beganovic still downhill in towards turn 3, cannot find a way through on Bedrin as they rise up, but look at Callum Vosin looking very racy indeed. He's going to try and look around the outside of it to Pruvizak into turn 4. Never a way to go through. Surely 5 and 6. Wurtz passes Lindblad at 3.
Indeed, so Wurtz versus Lindblad currently going on as well. That seems like good traction. Is there going to be an opportunity for the Rodin?
Oh, the contact between the two of them as well. Vosin is all over, they're rubbing wheels, and now we're coming to a part of the track that's pretty much single file, and Tanasipol slides that rear. He's drifting the Formula 3 car right now. And now coming in as well, look at this, Traminitz and Mansell. They're right in the battle.
Yeah, this is getting aggressive stuff. He is not waiting at all. Whatever opportunity he gets, he is going for it. He knows it's crucial. It is slightly hard to overtake at the Hungarian ring, and he's starting to...
There we go. Slight bit of lag, but we're back up now with it. As they come through. Don't just love Discord. It's always the way. We need like a... Well, actually, I found a software that people use for professional, like the BBC used as well during the election. Do you remember if anybody was watching the BBC elections and they all got their cameras and all the polling stations across the UK? I know how they did it. Big lunge for Mansell. Locks up the inside front right tyre, trying to get ahead of Traminitz. It didn't work out.
It didn't work out, but great attempt around a circuit where it's hard to overtake, and in a DRS turn where you sometimes need to make the move. We look further back because it's Browning who's been able to get past Sami Megatuniv, who is trying to come back, but he's going to have to wait till we make our way around next time around this part of the lap on lap number 9 if he wants to fight back. So Browning is able to take the place.
So Browning up to 9th, Megatuniv now under pressure for Motley Goethe, who was out of position. Gabriel Mini in P12 too. He's got to find a couple of extra horsepower. Beganovic just clips the inside curb at the 7H chicane. Let's hear from him now.
Let's go, mate. Put him under pressure.
Yeah, they're telling him to put him under pressure because we've got everybody right behind. Into Pruvizak, Vosin, Traminitz, Mansell. And this is how Browning did it down to turn 1, and they just swung it round the outside. Megatuniv could do nothing. Oh, actually.
Yep, indeed, of course. Yeah, wasn't going to be the outside fully. Megatuniv wasn't really going to let him do that. Instead, Browning broke a little bit early, let Megatuniv run wide, and then get the DRS and take the place down to turn 2.
That DRS, double DRS here, as I said as well. One down the start finish straight, one on the run downhill to turn 2. That's the only ones on the circuit that they have access to, so it's sort of like a double whammy. And there's 2 different detection points as well. Look at Bedrin trying to break that toe. 10 laps to go here, well, because it's an 18-lap race. 8 have been completed, 1 to lap 9. And now it very much is a follow-me-leader race. Vosin looks to the inside line, can't get ahead of him to Pruvizak into turn 1. He tried that inside line. Look at Beganovic as well with the DRS open. He is on the back of Bedrin like he's been for 9 laps. Can't find a way through. Bedrin slides a little bit as well. Beganovic Beganovic can't get the undercut coming into 3 and 4 as well. But they are trying. They are desperately trying and looking for a way through. But it's a question of how much can we actually push? And if Beganovic takes the lead, his tyres could end up dead as well. It's better to stay behind Bedrin in many respects. Let Bedrin dictate how fast you want to go.
Indeed. And then maybe try an attack late on in this one, because he is going to have to go for it at some point. But there has been opportunities where he has got close. So will he be able to commit at the end is going to be the question as we continue to make our way through. In a train right now that is 6 cars. It's Bedrin, Beganovic, and Pruvizak, Woizin, Travanitz, and Christian Mansell as well, currently sitting in 6th position. Everyone else in this train for the lead other than Beganovic hasn't won a race this season so far. Beganovic is the only one who has been able to do it. It was earlier in the season for him in Australia. Beganovic trying to get back on track as well after a poor triple header for him, and it's been his teammates who have mostly been excelling during that.
Look at all the people starting to come in as well on the top. A few upgrades have happened here at the Hungarian in the past 3 years. They're planning a new main grandstand and commentary box area. That hasn't been changed since 1986 when the circuit opened as well. The windows never been cleaned, surprisingly. Still, it seems to be a follow-me-leader race. No one can find a way through unless someone makes a mistake. Vozin just can't get ahead of Pruvizak as well. This is the one problem we do have here. And never mind, because Beganovic lunges up the inside line, locks the rear, nearly takes off the front wing, and into the lead of the race, trying to go, is into Pruvizak. Beganovic lunged up the inside at turn 2. It didn't work the way he wanted to, and coming out of 3, he's now finding himself in P3. And it's an AIX 1-2 with Tenacable into Pruvizak right in the back of Bedrin.
Well, Beganovic does not agree. Follow the leader race. Beganovic does not agree at all, and he's still trying to defend because now he's got the attacking Woizin on the back as well.
Side. What's happening here? Look at that. That's Travanitz on the inside, forcing off Vozin in turn 7. Mansell's involved too. Suddenly the entire field have taken a shot of adrenaline. They're all trying to get through at the same time, and it's not going to work out. Beganovic sort of backed up Vozin to lure Travanitz to have a go, and Mansell thought, okay, I'll make it 3 into 1 into turn 7. The chicane.
Oh my word, they're all going crazy. Browning also now up here as well. And he's going to try and get past Lawrence Van Hoopen, who's been forced to the defensive line. And in the background, let's see whether Browning will be able to get the traction down and take the position.
Yes,
Is he going to be late on the brakes? He's looking left, he's looking right. He can't find a way through, he's still stuck. Behind the ART, he's going to have an opportunity down the start-finish straight. AIX 1-2 right now, though. Beganovic down to 3rd.
And now we've got to think as well, Bedrin is in a title hunt. Vozin says give back the position. That's the Travanitz, but Travanitz forced him off the track. Callum shouldn't have to do that, but Travanitz is still going to take it up into 4th position. In my opinion, that's the wrong move. Browning goes to the inside line of Van Hoopen. Nearly tries to have a go as well on the inside of Mansell. Didn't work out. Oh, and off the track, Van Hoopen tries to swing back. Browning has the position downhill. Into 2 and 3. Wow!
Finally, Browning has the position, but I think we need more comment from you about follow the leader, because it seems like as soon as you said that, the race came alive. They all decided to go aggressive. 3-1 into turn number 7 is absolutely outrageous, even by F3 standards. And now to Sanapol into Pruvizak, well, trying to become the first driver from Thailand to score points in Formula 3. Could he do it, even with a victory?
I think it's everyone down to Mari Boyer is in this long line. This is Beganovic, so he got a great run out of 1 and 2, but I don't understand why he suddenly thought, okay, I'll send it to the inside. It still doesn't make any sense to me. Now it does, but the move was never on. Is that aggressive defending from Bedrin?
Well, Bedrin was always going to cover that part of the circuit. I think a move around the outside possibly could have been worthy.
What an idiot, as we've lost trackside audio in one ear, so luckily it doesn't affect me that much. Just make sure it works. There we go. Yeah. So the audio must have glitched on lap 1 because the radio didn't work, but yeah, we can get it in stereo even if they can't. Because I can just move the leads around into the stereo from the change it. And Solov gets a penalty. As it's all happening.
Here comes Mansell.
Mansell on the inside of Vozin. That's going to be contact. Callum has to take avoiding action, and he dives off the track again. Mansell sends it up the inside, doesn't care who he hits, and here comes Forlaoli. Solov with a 10-second time penalty for causing a collision.
Yep, so that's a penalty now for Nicolas Solo as we all continue in this DRS spin. But yeah, Mansell wanted that move earlier. Late on the brakes, he's finally be able to get it. This time, though, it is on Callum Woyton, who seemed like the man on the attack. Now he's the man on defense, and maybe his tyres now started to fade away. Still the two AX cars currently separated by 0.3 of a second. To stand up to prove Zach needs to stay close to his teammate if he wants to run down the start finish. So that's going to be critical for him. It seems to lose a bit too much time in the second and third sector, but he is staying close this time around. And if he wants a chance for the lead, then he needs to take it soon. And he's a driver who I wouldn't say has more pace over his teammate Bedrin. So if he has the opportunity to take the lead right now, it's probably worth getting it because I don't know if he's going to be able to stay there in the for the remaining laps with the pace difference between the two teammates.
Could we be about to see Tenasipol into Pruvazak get his first FIA Formula 3 win? That would be something as well. He has got the pace, I must admit. Bogdanovic coming back up to it. Come on, what have we got? What have we got then, Formula 3? In a Saturday morning. Everyone trying to break that toe. Everyone just following the toe down towards that braking zone for turn number 1. Reminder that today could also be Formula E's championship day. Cassidy has a chance to get it, bringing you that race live here today after the F1 qualifying. It's all just shaping up nicely, isn't it? You've just got to sort of keep your eyes on everything. Browning now right to the back of Formula early. This is impressive from Browning. He crashed in qualifying, brought out the red flag, lost his fastest time and had to start 15th on the grid. This is Bedrin's tyres. And they are shredded at the front of the field. Big time. Look at that compared to Nasipol's. Wow.
Yeah, they are shredded. So even if Bedrin may have more pace overall than his teammate, it seems like possibly there could be to stand up and prove Zach has got his tyres in better condition because remember, Bedrin's had to dictate the pace for so long in this race as well. Being chased from Gino Bogdanovic, and these teams would know that Prima do have some good pace when they get it right, and there's some other fast cars coming behind as well. The rodents seemed alive in the early stages, so they always knew that they had to try their absolute best with trying to keep Bogdanovic behind. So they have pushed a little bit. We're on lap number 13 out of 18, and we are going to be seeing hopefully a bit more of a battle now between the two AAX cars as Interpruvazak goes hunting of that victory. But Bogdanovic is still going to be in there, but if Bogdanovic wants to have a chance, he first of all needs to clear to stand up on Interpruvazak.
Cautiously, wildly accelerating down that start-finish straight now as well, as we see Bogdanovic with that DRS open, but the AX cars are doing great. Mansell tries to break the turn. We got like a little snap down that straight. I was just trying to get a clear view on the inside line. Was that Gabriel Mini going on the attack? I can't tell. I'm looking further back in the pictures.
I think it was.
Yeah, I think Mini's got ahead of Goethe. Yes, he has. So Gabriel Mini moves up into 11th position.
Yeah, I think he was actually battling with Noah Leon instead in the background in the Van Amersfoort as well. So Mini has been able to get through on Noah Leon.
Yeah.
Goethe directly ahead, so he's still got to try and get past Goethe.
You are correct. It's so hard to tell. We need to zoom in a bit more and pick up the battles that are happening. This is why Omi's here, because I have no clue when I'm looking further back. Because it's like, you cannot see a thing further back in the numbers. Still coming through. There's Luke Browning, holding into the back of Forlaroli as they come down towards turn 12. Look at the championship then. Browning will move up into second. Mini will be on 119. Browning on 115. Lindblad on 113. Forlaroli only on 97. So it becomes a three-way fight. Yes, effectively four-way, but a three-way going into the last two rounds of the championship. Spa and in Monza. Formula 3 not allowed to race at the Zandvoort circuit. The paddock is too small, and that's why we only have the Porsches there as well.
Yep, Porsche's an F1 Academy during the
hell?
Zandvoort weekend.
That was stupid for Mansell. Dive bombed the inside line of Chapmanitz, went so wide into turn 1, and was never going to make that move.
And he's still looking for it, so he's really desperate for that move as well as Christian Mansell to move up to fourth position. He's a driver who's had some good recent form, as Christian Mansell, hoping that he is finally able to take a win, of course, this season as well, as they continue battling in this one right now. So Bedouin leading by 0.4 of a second. It's crucial though when we come out of the final corner, what is the gap between the two AIX cars? If Prix is close, then he could have a run, but he hasn't been close enough when we've exited the final corner of the circuit, which has meant that Bedouin hasn't come under too much pressure so far. Arvid Lindblad started in 21st, up to 16th place, but that will not do anything good for him in the title fight. Woizen's off.
Callum Vossen goes wide, and he did not lose a position to Forlaroli, but I can't imagine that did much for the gap between them. Now down to 0.3 of a second as they come into it. You're right, he's actually quite... I think it's cloudy at the moment, but the sun's just starting to break through, so it'll get hotter. So I'm enjoying the coolness at the moment as it happens. On to lap 16 of 18. Here we go again then. Look at Forlaroli right to the back. Callum Vossen and Luke Browning's right there as well to capitalise. Run down to turn 1. Vossen goes to the inside line to go defensive. Forlaroli looks around the outside, can't get a position because Vossen's car ends up in the centre of the track. Cuts back to the inside line with the DRS open for both of them as he head downhill to turn 2. Let's put Forlaroli round the outside line. Vossen squeezes him. Forlaroli tries to come back to the inside. Browning having to take a little bit of avoiding action, lifts and coasts down through into 3, uphill now to turn 4. No one making the move. Expert defending there from Callum Vossen.
Great defending there from him indeed, but this is exactly what put him under the pressure. A wide moment as well over the curb, and for Callum Woisen, that lost him all momentum and meant that he had to be ultra defensive down the start-finish straight, which luckily he just was, but he needs to try and get back inside the 1 second of the leaders as well, as we see kicking up a bit of dust is Fornaroli, as he is still trying to get past Woisen, but Woisen understands won't have DRS. Now he's back inside. That's going to be crucial if he is inside, because that could save him from a clear attack from Leo Fornaroli.
Kenny says as well, as Max would say, you don't just dive bomb, that's not how you overtake. Yeah, Max has learned a little bit more actually as well about dive bombs. I remember, dive bomb won him his first world championship. Sent up the inside of Hamilton. Must admit though, that whole championship, it was set up so perfectly and it went so wrong. But it went wrong in only a way that Formula 1 could make it go wrong. It was quite funny. I'm not saying anything. It could be an AX 1-2 here, which really puts you under pressure from Dufek, but he did have his lap time to lead.
Yeah, indeed. So it may have been Dufek who's given them this opportunity as well. As Lindblad has moved on to 15 past Esserton, don't know if they would have had this opportunity without Bedouin up here as well, would they? Don't know if they would have finished in this position, because Inter Prusak would have been the only AIX car there as well, and Beganovic would have been a bit more easier for him to try get through. We have some squabbling in the background. That's Boyup versus Charlie Wurz.
Yeah, because Vert's gonna do anything to hold on for P17. Remember, the last points paying position currently goes to Luke Browning in P8. How the sprint race works. Weird, considering we've got a 30-car field, and the top 8 or the top 10 get points. Personally, I think they should look at that and change it a bit. I mean, it makes sense in Formula 1, just about. I like the idea of a MotoGP point-style system, where the top 15 get points. That, to me, makes more sense. Because otherwise, what are you doing? So, on to the final lap then. It'll be lap 18 of 18. Bedouin leads by nearly a second to his teammate, who's holding off Dino Beganovic. Chaminet's in fourth. I must admit, though, this has been one of the closest Formula 3 races I can remember in a long time, in terms of that they are all packed up together, and have been for the whole race, with barely any delays to the race.
Yeah, indeed. Of course, we had the important stop. Other than that, it has just been a race all till the end. Who's feeling brave? Which move? It seems like no Leones on
Leon,
Mini.
He's got him. No, Leon moves out. Mini's going to try and hold around the outside line. That's going to be contact, and they're not careful. No, Leon, though, has everything on the line and makes it up into
Stenshaw.
12th, and Steinshaw going round the outside as well of Mini, and he takes him at the top of the hill at 4. Someone to Gabriel
Stenshaw
Mini.
able to get through on Gabriele Mini. That's not what Mini wanted at all. Stenshaw's able to get through as we have only a few more corners of this one remaining.
Prema drop. But it's going to be Beganovic who has it. Into Pruvazak's going to get his first ever podium in Formula 3. That's going to make him feel very happy, but he knows what could have been. He would have been on the top position. He would have been pole if it wasn't for his own teammate Joshua Dufek getting a lap time deleted and Luke Browning, and it reshuffled the grid. It reshuffled it in Nikita Bedrin's favour. But AIX under the rebrand are going to get their first ever 1-2. Nikita Bedrin wins a fascinating sprint race here in Formula 3 Hungary. Into Pruvazak is in second position. His first ever podium in Formula 3. Beganovic gets crucial World Championship points. Traminitz in fourth. Mansell fifth. Vos in sixth. Folleroni seventh. Browning picks up the last points paying position. As when Mini fails to score, his rivals close the gap with only a total of 5 races remaining in Formula 3 this year. Wow.
Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. Bedrin defensive drive all the way throughout as well. AIX can celebrate, of course. As you mentioned, the rebranding for them. Nikita Bedrin standing on the top step of the podium for the first time as well. To sign up on into Pruvazak, becoming the first driver from Thailand to score points in FIA Formula 3. What a moment, and he'll do it on the podium up alongside his teammate.
Absolutely fantastic. Nikita Bedrin finally gets what he's been wanting and I think deserved for most of the season as well. Into Pruvazak, proving his talent as well. Fantastic race from him, and that's what happens when you can get him up there into the thick of it. He races hard and he races fair. What a race. That is, I think, up there with the best of the season so far. Close racing, hard racing, and it was fantastic. Thought, though, when he messes it up, it's the same as Mansell says, get it? Yeah, absolutely. And love they got a 1-2 and the Red Bull pit stall as well. Yep. Well, is this the time of AIX domination? Let's hear from Nikita Bedrin.
Winner.
You are a legend, mate. What a race, guys. Oh, yes, first pinnacle, come on.
Yeah, I think that's nice as well. So, Omi, final thoughts before we hand over to the World Freedom, but we'll be back for the podium on that one.
Brilliant Formula 3 race, amazing hard racing around Budapest. You're not always going to get the overtaking fast. Let's see that we're probably going to get later on in the season at Monza, at circuits like that. But it was an amazing race which had plenty of action. Hard racing, drivers having to make moves at places we usually wouldn't see it. Just phenomenal.
Here's the World Freedom into Pruvazak.
Yeah, really good job, guys. Thank you very much. That was amazing, mate. Thank you very much.
And what a journey for Tsanopol in Pruvazak as well. His best result, 16th coming into this weekend, and he is rising very, very quickly as well. What a breakthrough for him and the AIX racing team as well. Such a new team to the championship, a new project, and they've risen very, very quickly.
I've said it before, I'll say it again, such is the depth of talent at the level of this series. When you put drivers who haven't been in the top 10 so far this year towards the front of the field, they deliver.
Yeah.
And that's what Pruvazak has done. He's demonstrated his ability to be at the front, to run with the front runners. Bedrin delivers for the team. Fabulous stuff. Pruvazak as well, though, has earned his stripes today.
Absolutely, absolutely. Nikita Bedrin taking us across the line. An AIX Racing 1-2. At the end of the sprint race here at the Hungarian, and he congratulates his teammate Tsanopol in Pruvazak. They haven't had the easiest runs at times, but they take all the glory today. They are centre stage here at the Hungarian in the sprint race, and they absolutely deserve it. They become the 10th team this season to be on the podium, and that shows the quality of the field we have in the Formula 3 Championship this season. Another new winner this season in Nikita Bedrin, another new podium finisher as well in Tisanopol Intrapuvazak. That gives us 10 winners on the grid this season, which just shows the quality we have out there. Another new podium finisher as well in Tisanopol Intrapuvazak. 20 drivers now out there on the grid have finished on a Formula 3 podium, which just shows you the quality. But AIX Racing, 1-2 finish, dominant display from them, and they've beaten off multiple champions in Prema Racing.
Yeah, Beganovic really rescuing the day for Prema, to be honest, after a difficult day in the shape of the other two drivers. But he drove a great race, a battling race, and it was one that I think he will feel he could have won, actually, when he looks back at it. But still, a great battling drive. Let's have a look at how they wound up.
Well, there we go. Nikita Bedrin taking the win for AIX Racing, leading home a 1-2 finish for the team. A historic 1-2. Their first podium, their first win in this championship, and they did it in some style. Tisanopol Intrapuvazak making history with his second place finish. Dino Beganovic taking crucial points for his championship hopes in third. Tim Tramnitz a welcome return up to the front of the field in fourth. Christian Mansell sending it to go through to fifth place. Callum Boyzin back in the points once again. That's 3 consecutive points finishes now. Leo Fornaroli seventh. Luke Browning from 15th to 8th. That could be crucial as he goes to second in the championship. Van Hoopen ninth. Another sprint race points finish for him. Then Mega Tunith, Goethe, Leon, Stenchon, Amini, Lindblad, Esterson, Wirtz, Boyer, Montoya and Dunn round out the top 10. Shields, Dufek, Flörsch, Wisniewski, and then Smith, Loke, Stuka, Ramos, Solov, Zagazeta had suspension damage on the first lap after contact with Boyer. That is that. Let's go to the cool-down room.
Huge difference. It's like driving now 6 and...
Guys, we are pushing so much in the second 2 minutes.
Who?
Voicing.
Where did he end up?
I don't know.
Well,
It wouldn't be an award-winning podcast, would it?
they didn't have much to say to each other, did they?
No, not really. Well, sometimes they do. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. Watching it back.
Sing back the move is always an interesting one, as you say.
A facial expression says 1,000 words, I think, sometimes in that instance. But it was great racing between the front of them.
Yes, it really was. Let's get them out on the podium. Dino Beganovic, I think you said it best, Alex, will feel the win was there for him today. But nevertheless, he adds to his podium finishes that we've already seen him racking up. Dino Beganovic, that is 3 podium finishes for the season for him now.
Really is as well. Well done for Tisanopol. And Nikita Bedrin gets the race victory. And we will hear the national anthem of Italy. Wonderful podium for them all, and a wonderful win for Nikita Bedrin. Finally victorious in FIA Formula 3. His first victory in the series. Tenasserim to Pruvazak makes the team get a 1-2 as well. The Constructors' Trophy for the first time to AX Racing after their rebrand and what was a miserable start to the year in both categories. Tenasserim gets his first podium and lifts that trophy up high. That's what you can do. And Dino Beganovic collects another podium in third place. A classic that was going to put him up in the title fight as well. 5 races to go, 5 men in the hunt for the title. It's champagne time on Saturday morning for this amazing championship. Omi, what do you think we're going to see tomorrow in the feature race?
Well, I think there's going to be more management definitely tomorrow needed. Longer laps, hot conditions, even though the races are in the morning, still hot conditions. It is going to be tough, it's going to be challenging, but it'll hopefully be wide open and thrilling like it was today.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Omi, for joining me in the comms box as well. And thanks to everybody watching as well. We are all set then for the final 5 races of the Formula 3 season. 1 more tomorrow, 2 more in Spa, and then 2 more in Monza. And that will determine who is the FIA Formula 3 champion of 2024. First race win for Nikita Bedrin. First 1-2 as well, and podium for Tenasserim Pruvazak and AX Racing. This day will live long in the new team's memory. Fantastic opener. Next up, it's Formula E and their second practice session. Tom Brooks, Alan McNish and Corinne Channock taking you through that one. While we set up for qualifying, where myself and Megan will play hot potato with the commentary box. Next up as well, F1, their third practice session. Then it's the F2 sprint and the F1 quali. We'll see you later on from us all here. Take care, bye-bye.